Hey mathematicians, here's a way you can also use the Desmos calculator to do number one. So you can see that I typed the original problem right here in the graphing calculator. And you can see that it's graphed right here on the graph. So then I also typed into the graphing calculator the option A on the multiple choice, and you can see that it shows up over here in this blue line. So since the blue line is not on top of the red line, the original equation, that is how I know that these two are not equivalent. For the opposite reason, I know this 1/2, the option B, is equivalent because when I graphed this green line, it fell right on top of the red line. So I know that those two are equivalent. And it's the same reason that I know that option C is equivalent. Option C became this black line that fell on top of the red line. D became this other red line that's over here, not on top of the original equation. So I know that that one is not equivalent. And finally, option E becomes this purple line that graphed right on top of the red. So for that reason, because option B and C and E all graph right on top of that same line in number one, I know that those are all the equations that are equivalent. And then I did the same thing for option two, or I'm sorry, for number two. Let me clear all these off for a second. So you can see when I graph option A, it becomes that blue line that does not fall on the original red line. When I graph option C, same thing. It becomes this green line that doesn't line up on the red line. Option D is that purple line that does line right up on top of the red line. So you know that option D is option C is what I meant. So this is option C, graphs right on top of that red line. And for the same reason, I know that option E is not, or option D, sorry, I keep saying that wrong, because when I graphed it, it became this black line that did not line up on the red. So you can use the calculator in order to help you figure out which of those equivalent equations match up, because if they're equivalent, when you graph them, they should graph right on top of each other.